in organizations, where we're looking at emerging trends in IT and their impact in organization. So currently now we can see that as technology improves, right? So everything in our daily lives has changed. So you can see that technology has come to stay and it has improved most of our daily tasks, right? Especially in our businesses. And one of the common trend technology these days has to do with information extraction. And we have what we call the transformer models. And one of the popular transformer models today is the generative pre-trained model, which has really helped us to solve so many tasks. And generative pre-trained model, a good example is the GPT that you guys use, which is the full name is generative pre-trained model, right? That we all use, and also the Gemini and so many of them, right? So it has make our life easier and make so many tasks easier to do, right? So we're going to be looking at the introduction here. Information technology is constantly evolving, introducing trends that redefine business processes, customer interactions, and organizational strategies. So emerging IT trends are reshaping how organizations operate, offering opportunities for growth, innovation, and efficiency. Right. So let's look at some of the emerging trend technology that we have. So the first one we'll look at here is the artificial intelligence and machine learning. Right. So artificial intelligence is a simulation of human intelligence processed by machines. Right. And then the machine learning is a subset of AI that enables system to learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. So in machine learning, we have the most common ones are the supervised machine learning and the unsupervised machine learning. Right. We also have the reinforcement learning. We also have the reinforcement learning. Right. So we have seen a situation where a machine learns like a child, right? Where a model is being built, well, a model is being built to learn like a child. When I say learn like a child, I learn new things. So once the machine learner understands that object, once the machine learns and understands that object, the machine will not forget it because the computer it has stored the data right in his memory, and the machine will never forget that object. So it keeps on learning until it gets more intelligent, right? So, but this supervised learning in our previous lecture, we showed some good examples of supervised learning because supervised learning makes use of the column and rows where we have the target variable, the dependent variable, and the independent variable. And we showed some good problems that we can solve, right? And that we can build our machine on, right? These are supervised machine learning. And we'll also explain what unsupervised machine learning is because most of the unsupervised makes use of unstructured data. Like the generative pre-trained model with the GPT that we use today, right, is unsupervised, and also it also learns from your input data, right? So when you key in anything, that's why the when you key in any information on GPT, GPT collects that information and it trains itself using your input, right? So you can see GPT learns by itself, becomes more intelligent, and then it has to also be trained to understand text, right? To understand text. So now we can see where the world is moving to, right? We can see where it's going to. So imagine what 10 years from now to 10 years time, imagine what technology will look like, right? So in the area of computing, currently now we still require humans to build applications for maybe customers and for organizations. But time will come where these machines can be able to build your system by itself. All you just need to do is to give it your input and it understands your inputs and then processes it and then sends the output for you, depending on any kind of application you want to create. That is what to become as we move on because even the generative pre-trained model, you can see how intelligent it is, how it can semantically, contextually understands your text, right? So let's move forward. So in the area of application in the artificial intelligence and machine learning, we have the predictive analysis for decision making, right? So with the aid of this machine learning, it can be able to predict based on existing data and then make decisions, right? But the disadvantage currently now is that there is no machine learning algorithms that can do almost all tasks, almost all human tasks. The machine learning models are only built to do a particular task, a repetitive task, automation of repetitive tasks, so that I can see automation of repetitive tasks, depending on what the organization needs. Now, let's assume that you want to build a recommendation system for your organization where it will recommend products to your customers, right? New products to your customers, existing products to your customers. Now, this is a recommendation algorithm where it makes use of content based filtering or the collaborative filtering, right? Or any other algorithms you are trying to enhance on this in that content based or collaborative filtering. Now, let's assume I'm a new customer, right? So the machine, your system already have all my data, your system already have all my biodata. So there, the machine may be trained to recommend items that people from my location already like people from my location already bought that particular item. So the machine may likely recommend that same item to me, thinking that I may like the item. So sometimes it's always true and sometimes not always true, right? And most times when you want to buy an item, the machine may recommend other items, similar items that have the same description, the same functionality of that particular item you want to buy. So we all have seen it in Jumia, we have seen it in Konga. You can see how intelligent this web application performs, right? So that is how this works, right? So let's look at the next one here. Let's look at the application impact on organization. So efficiency gain. Artificial intelligence automates processes, reducing human interventions and operational costs. Then personalization, which I just explained, like I just explained, recommendation, which enhance customer experience through tailored recommendations. Then data-driven decision, improve decision making with real-time insight. So we're going to be looking at the next emerging trend, which is Internet of Things, right? So there are so many applications these days that are very, very intelligent, ranging from our smartwatch, our lights in our homes, our refrigerator, our dispenser, where you can be anywhere, can where we can be anywhere to switch on your dispenser or switch off your dispenser. So we have lights these days that you can be anywhere to switch off your lights in your home and then or switch on your light in your home. There's also a camera where you can be able to like, where you can mount it to your house and then you can be anywhere to monitor who enters your house or who leaves your house, right? So you can see these are examples of Internet of Things. Um we also have a pumping machine that you don't need to manually go there and then switch on the pump, right? So once the sensor detects that there's no water in the tank or the water has gone less or the water is going down, so the sensor automatically triggers the pumps and then it start pumping, right? Then when it gets filled, it automatically switched off. So we have so many of them these days that work like that and makes life easier for everyone. So Internet of Things refers to the network of interconnected devices that collects and exchange data in real time. So the application. So smart factories and supply chain management. Internet of Things enables healthcare device for remote monitoring. Now, this one is let's assume like the smartwatch that takes your blood pressure, your heart pressure. So once it gets to a certain level where you need a medical practitioner, a medical doctor, so it can be able to send reports online to the doctor, and the doctor sees you. As long as you are the patient, the doctor sees it and then call you for a medical checkup. So we have so many of them like that that work these days like that. Right. So these are good example of Internet of Things. So what is the impact on organization? Now operational insight. So the real-time data from devices optimize workflow, then enhance customer experience. Now the Internet of Things devices improve product usability, predictive maintenance, reduces downtime by identifying equipment issues early. There's so many other impacts on the organization, but we'll just mention just a few here. So the next one we're going to be looking at is cybersecurity. Despite that the IT grows, right, so do threats like hacking, ransomware, and data breaches, leading to advancing cybersecurity technology. So these days, we know that technology have grown, whereby if you are not that careful using your computer, you may easily get hacked. I'll give an example now. Especially, I will advise you guys not to download free softwares online because you may easily get hacked using those softwares, and most of the softwares inject applications to your most of these softwares inject some application softwares that monitors all the activities you are doing on your system, your system. And if you are not that careful, right, the hacker can easily trigger your PowerShell and then controls your entire system. So now the application of this cybersecurity here is the artificial intelligence driven threat detection and the multi-factor authentication and zero trust model. And what's the impact on organization? Trust building, that is strong security measures build customers, and risk mitigation protects sensitive data and minimizes financial loss. We have other emerging trends like the big data, the cloud computing, the 5G network. So here we're going to be looking at automation of robotic processes, where automation involves the use of technology to perform tasks with minimum human intervention, while the robot process automation uses software robot to handle repetitive tasks. So we have seen where robots are built to handle a repetitive tasks. Example like the invoice processing and payroll system, and then customer onboarding. We have seen so many of them. Even robots are being used these days in the most of the coffee shop where robots serves their customers coffees and some other items. Right. So the impact on organization. The first is cost efficiency. So it reduces labor cost, then accuracy, minimize human errors and tasks, then employee focus, it frees up employee for strategic work. Now, these are just few examples of the emerging trend technology, right, and the impact on organizations. So, all you just need to know is to understand emerging trends, technologies, and their impacts on organization, and briefly explain two emerging trends, technologies, and the impact on organization. So, thank you and God bless you. So, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. I'm always here to answer you and then guide you. Thank you.